I didn't know what to do. And these were the steps that I took to save my life because I didn't know how to live without her. I didn't even know there was a life possible that I could live without her and be happy. Hello, and welcome back to the Trauma Flavored Chapters. I'm Serenity, and this is a place where I share my past and present chapters with you completely unfiltered to create pure connection and healing. Today, we are talking about the steps that you can take after you lose somebody. So I did 2 episodes, and it was Mommy Trauma and After She Was Gone. And in the episode After She Was Gone, I made a list of ways that I healed after I lost my mom. And I feel like I was like looking back at it, I was like, I did not organize that list very well. So I wanted to give you clear steps on what you can do after you lose somebody because I want you to get the values out of these videos. I don't want you lost in the sauce because I was definitely lost in the sauce in my other video. I was like, yeah, I kind of made a list. And I was like, not like devaluing what I did, but I just want to give you the straight up list and facts. So, ways you can, and I'm going to be looking over here because I have my computer and I'm ADD, so I need to be able to have something to keep me on track. Also, ADD moment. I decided to keep the wands in after I did the episode with Cassie, and honestly, I just think they're really fun, and I enjoy holding a wand while I talk to you guys, so hopefully you like it. It's creating whimsy out here. We're staying connected to our inner child. So, starting with step 1. Step 1 is finding a therapist. And I know that is not easy, and I know that it may just be like, oh yeah, just find a therapist. But no, find a therapist. Just seriously find a therapist. You can also find a trauma informed coach. You can find there's so many different types of therapy out there that can help you, and there's so many people out in the world that want to help you and want to make a difference in your life. You just need to look for them. So the way that I found my therapist actually was on Facebook and I was scrolling through Facebook. I think I was on like a mom's group chat thing. I'm not a mom, but I was just looking, I think it was Maui Mamas or something. I was looking through there and someone was like, oh my God, I love my therapist so much. And it was not my therapist, but it was some other therapist. And I was just screaming for help at this point in my life. I was definitely like signs that I was ready for a therapist were me looking for people outside of my friend groups, outside of my family, and pretty much just strangers I felt more comfortable with of like wanting to talk to for some reason. And that was one sign I needed like an unfiltered or unbiased opinions on situations and stuff like that. And that is a perfect thing that a therapist does. So I was definitely ready, and I saw this person post this therapist, and it was actually, I messaged him and I called him and I was like, hey, like, do you have any openings? And he's like, I'm actually a couples counselor. And I was like, well, do you take any like one-on-one? Like, I was very like magnetized to him instantly, and he was like, actually, I'm just gonna get you a list of therapists that I recommend. Here's their numbers. He's like, I'm gonna email it all to you. So he emailed me a whole list, and I called, I think it was 7 of them, and only one answered, and it was actually my therapist that answered. A couple, I think, like called back like a couple weeks later, but I get it. People have lives and they're very busy. I'm not judging them or anything like that. But my therapist was the first to answer. And I was like, what days do you have available? And she's like, Thursdays. And I was like, perfect. Thursdays are my day off. And so it just ended up aligning quickly. And then the signs I believe that you have found a good therapist and that it fits well for you is like, are you instantly comfortable with them? Like, do you feel comfortable with sharing what you need to share? Because if you don't feel like instantly comfortable with them, that in my opinion, that means you may not be the right fit. And that's okay. There's nothing wrong. And I, like I said earlier, I know it's hard to find a therapist. So don't be hard on yourself. It may take a few tries. Do not be discouraged if the first one isn't your match. And it's just like finding, like, kind of like finding a supportive friend. Like, you're like, okay, are we like, or do we jive well together? Are you giving me the tools that I need? I could probably do a deep dive on like how to exactly find a therapist that fits well for you. I've been going to my therapist for the last since 2018. How many years is that? I can't do math in my head. Don't judge me. So yeah, and step one is finding your therapist, finding your person, finding a trauma informed coach. I would suggest you could even do coaching of a sort if they match well with you and you are getting what you need. And I highly recommend, even after you lose somebody, you need, and you're not like ready to talk about it, you need to have someone that is there for you when you are ready. It's just, even if you're hanging out with them, it doesn't matter. Like, I need you to be able to have someone you're established with. So then you are like, okay, today's the day. I'm going to talk about the one that I lost, the one that I love the most. Like, whoever it is in your life that you lost, it's definitely, no matter who it is, it fucks your shit up, okay? It fucks everything up and it hurts and it's painful and it's not something you want to talk about or do, but it is something that you have to heal through. I'm going to be honest with you, whether you like it or not. Okay? I don't want you sitting here for years uncomfortable and in pain because you haven't found someone that can help you and someone that can hear you. And sometimes it's not even just about being like, okay, how do I heal? It's just talking about them. Just having someone outside of your family, your friends, your ecosystem to talk to. Okay. So, step 2 is slowly giving the person that you lost space in your mind. I think this is probably one of the hardest steps. Yes, finding a therapist is hard. None of this is easy, but giving them space in your mind is step 2. So it's not just, you don't have to sit there and be like, okay, I have to think about them. It's just, if the thought of them comes into your mind, don't bat it away. No, just give it a moment to, even though if it hurts, even though if it's a negative memory, just giving yourself a moment. And it could be, if you totally don't think about them ever and you don't want to and you're like, absolutely not, you're like, get away from me. Once a day. Just once a day, let a thought come into your head. Or even if you just want to take 5 minutes just to sit and just creating the openness to think about them. Because for years, I couldn't even think about my mom. I didn't want to talk about it. Nope, no thank you. No, I don't want anything to do with that. That hurts. That hurts a lot. No thank you. And if this is your first time listening, I know I said that I have my other episodes about my mom. I lost my mom to breast cancer, and I lost her when I was 14. So I was a little baby, and yeah, it was one of the biggest life-changing moments in my life. And it took a year for her to pass. So just in case you haven't listened to those episodes yet, please go to them and listen, but just in case you're right here in this moment, that's what happened. So yeah, just step 2 is slowly giving yourself space to think about them, because I know from experience of just the avoidance of not wanting to do that, and it hurts and you're like, fuck that. So number 3 is creating a space for them to visit. And what I mean is that giving yourself and them a place, so just what is happening with my mouth right now? A place for you guys to visit together. So I like to do an altar. Having an altar where, like, I have my mom's ashes, I have a picture of her, and I have a little candle. Mine right now is very simple. She's right next to I have another altar that's like my witchy altar and have like all my witch stuff, but I have like her altar right next to it, and it is a space for her within my home. So it's giving them a physical place to be if you have their ashes, or even just a place for you to just momentarily peek over. Oh, hey, you're over there. If you don't want it like so in your face, because this was like a really, really big step for me, was creating the altar. And mine at first, when I first did my altar, was really big, and it was like this little shelf and had like 3 different like little levels, and it had like all these different things. I kind of want to like get another one, honestly. But it was like a really, really big step for me to even give her space in my home. And if you are like, oh my God, this is like way too much. This is too much, guys. No, thank you. You can just start with something small. If you don't have any pictures of them in your home, maybe just putting a picture up. The slow steps. So yes, getting a therapist, but I didn't even talk to my therapist about my mom for over a year. I was like, no, thank you, nope, nope. It took me a year to even start, and it's a very slow process. So even though you have the therapist, it's nice to do these things like I want to say like on the side on your own time. So then it creates more space for you to talk to them because then as you're creating the altar, as you're creating more space in your mind, you have someone to talk to about this because these things can be very freaking triggering. They can be like, a thought comes up and you're like, oh my God, I just remember the day my mom died. Oh fuck. You're like, oh my God. And you're like, that was the worst day of my life. And you're like, huh. And you're doing the dishes. And you're like, oh my God. And like, I had, like, I was not diagnosed PTSD, but maybe I was. Not sure. But I for sure felt like I had PTSD with my mom and her passing and watching her pass and remembering like seeing her and feel like all these things. So these negative things can come up. So then having someone to talk to and or call if you're having like severe actual PTSD, then you can call them and be like, I'm not okay right now. I need help. So you need to have someone that is ready. You have your like backup. You have your backup person that's ready to support you, ready to go. So, creating the altar and just creating a space for you and them to visit together within your home. I think it's just a little thing. Like I said, it doesn't have to be big. It could be like a little picture. And you can just walk by and be like, hey, that's it. Or just be like, hey, and then you think about them. And you're like, oh my God, I miss their smile. And it's like, oh, okay. Because for so long, for me personally, I closed down my brain so much to this and just put it on the back burner and closed the door and then stomped on it a few times that it takes practice to open your heart and open your mind again. So these are just slow steps that you can take. Number 4 is journaling. I did a lot of journaling. Journaling has been a huge process for me to heal most aspects of my life in. My mom, 100%. There's just, my brain's like not great right now with examples, I guess. But yeah, it definitely helped with my mom. It helped with my self worth, my scarcity mindset. It helps with me understanding my outside world. It helps with my friendships. It helps with what I'm grateful for. It helps with so many different things. So, journaling, what I started to do with journaling with her was just starting with, okay, yes, you're starting to open your mind up a little bit. Yes, you're creating the space for them physically, and then it's writing the things down. So then what I did was I started writing down what is the first thing that comes to mind, negative or positive. What's the first thing that came to mind? And I wrote it down. And the first thing that I thought of was her smile. I was like, oh, I miss her smile. She had such a pretty smile. And I was sitting there thinking about her smile, and I was like, oh, I really miss her laugh. Her laugh was nice. So then I wrote that down. I was like, oh, I miss her smile. I miss her laugh. And then it's just kind of, it slowly opens the doorway. Instead of you stomping it closed, it opens a doorway for you to be able to have these thoughts, have these feelings. And I just, every so often, when I felt brave enough, I would take time and I had to like kind of force myself. Okay, just 5 minutes. I was like, I don't want to do it. I don't want to do it. I don't want to hurt. I don't want to feel this. It fucking sucks. So I was like, okay, just 5 minutes. Or even 2 minutes. You can break it down. 2 minutes. Just write the first things that come to mind about them. So 5 is writing them letters. I think this is a great way to start having communication with them because you can have a relationship with them even though they're physically not here. So I started writing my mom letters, and actually I would love to do an episode of me reading her letters because I moved to this house and I like had her letters somewhere else. I usually have them right next to her ashes, so they're like with her. But I was like, where are they? And I found them, and there's like 20 of them, and I started reading them, and I was like, ooh. And this is from 2021 when I started writing her letters, and I was like, oh my God, my heart, my poor little me. But just writing them letters, like what if they were right here, right now, right next to you, what would you say to them? Write it down. I miss you. I love you. A lot of the letters that I wrote is like, I miss you. I wish I could just get a hug from you. I just want to hold your hand. I would love to know, like, what are you up to? I want to know, are you happy? Like, writing these things down. Literally, write, like, as if you are going to mail that shit off, write it down. Write it down. What do you want to say to them? It could be things that you never got to say to them. What's something you wish you said to them? If there is something that you regret not saying to them, write it in a letter. Put it down on paper, okay? I promise you, this is probably one of the biggest steps that I did that made the biggest difference, because the first steps are slowly opening your mind, having support in this process, and then this step was just the biggest one of being like, okay, I can send these out. And so if you have if you end up doing the alt or even just a picture, you can take the letter and put it right next to them. Here you go. I wrote you a letter. And what I have also started doing too recently is when I write her a letter, I like to read it out loud, because I'm like, who knows if she's like right over my shoulder or not and she's watching and like reading it. But maybe I want to make sure she can hear it. So I'll read it out to her. I miss you. I love you. I hope you're having the best day ever. Or things that you like regret and you're like, I didn't get to say this to you, but I love you and you are the most important person in my whole life. Like you are our, for my mom, I'm like, I don't think I ever really told you, like, you are the best mom I could have ever had in my whole entire life. Like, thank you for raising me. Thank you for caring for me. Thank you for being such a great mom. Like, thank you. So, writing those things down and then reading them and saying them out, because it just gives it so much more power to speak it out. So, in your intention is for them to hear it. It makes your heart and your mind so much lighter. I would sit and I would just sob and sob and sob and write these letters to her. My letters have like watermarks all over them from my freaking crying eyeballs. So it's just taking the time to do this. Okay, what is number 6? Number 6, this is if you have the option. And about 3 years later into my journey with not having her anymore, I didn't want her ashes. I did not want them. I wanted nothing to do with them. I was like, ashes are stupid. Don't want them. I don't think that now. That was just very young me being naive. So I think if you have the option of having a physical piece of them, excuse me, that it is very important when you are ready to get even just the tiniest bit. I was talking to my brother about this, and he's like, at first he was the same way. He's like, I don't want that. No, get it away from me. And then I brought some of her home to him, and he's like, I didn't realize how much I needed this. He's like, it creates this more opening space and it creates this more acceptance space for you to have them. And I love having her ashes on my altar. It's like I love, and having their ashes, if you have enough of them, it's great to be able to go spread them when you want. And I don't spread all of her. I have plenty of her ashes left, and I don't know if this is not TMI. She's in a mason jar. She freaking loved collecting mason jars and shit. So she's in a giant mason jar. She's vibing, love it. And so I have her in a mason jar, and I'll take a little scoop sometimes, and I'll take her with me. I'm like, hey, let's go. We're going on a car ride. we're going. I'm gonna spread a little bit of your ashes on your birthday or on her death day. I love doing it on Mother's Day. If your dad passed away, maybe spreading a little bit of their ashes on Father's Day. It's just creating like a little bit of a more of a physical connection, and that was a big part of my healing. It kind of just helped me kind of consolidate that and just be like, okay, this is her physically. And also I feel like it creates a little bit more acceptance, because the first year is so confusing because your brain is trying to, and I've been reading books on this, like the science of grief. It's like you're scientifically connected to your parents. Like you are genetically connected to them. That never fucking goes away. And for years, your parents raised you, and then you are so used to them being there, physically there. You said, okay, like having your parents are like, they will, as a little kid, you are taught these people will take care of me, they will feed me, they will protect me, I will always have them. That bond is meant to feel like that. And it feels like that. It's true. And once they leave, it's so hard to realize that they're not physically here, because your whole life you're like, but but they were supposed to be here physically. They were supposed to take care of me and protect me, and where are they? And it's just your brain has to get used to a new pattern, new way of living, because they're not physically here anymore, and it's so fucking confusing. I've been fascinated by this. I definitely want to do a whole other episode on that, because I find the science of grief absolutely fascinating. So if you have the option, get their ashes. And then 7, making an external place to go visit them at. So if your parents already set up, or the person that has passed away already set up like a grave for like if they're physically buried, or I know you can do like ashes in a graveyard. If you have a place to externally go visit them, please do that. Or if the other option is if you don't have a place to go visit them physically, create one. And I created one with my mom's ashes. And if you don't have their ashes, this is still possible, I promise. So pick a place where you can go talk to them out loud. And I like being by myself most of the time when I do this. So I chose a place called Eau Valley. It's a river-like place here. It's by water, and I spread some of her ashes there. And I go there for Mother's Day. I go there for her birthday. I go there for all the days when I'm sad, whenever. So create a space for them, for you and them to visit together. This is, and just, I like saying it out loud. Okay, this is where I'm going to be visiting you. If you want to come talk to me, I'm going to be here. And so giving yourself a space, I feel like it's so important to have a place outside of your home because your home is just like built just for you, or even if you have kids or if you have a husband or you have roommates, like you're sharing it with somebody to so then to create an external place that you can is only a place for you and them. It is a special place just for you and them to be so intentional, be like, this is just for you and me. We're having a chat here. Or you can bring your letters. I love bringing flowers for her. Her favorite flowers are roses. And I love leaving her things. So I love leaving the roses there for her. So then I'm like, it feels like we had like a physical interaction, being like, here you go. I left you something. Love you. So I feel like that's very important. That could be another step for you. And so, and it's just a place for you to talk to them comfortably. Like I said, just by yourself. And the last thing on my list, number 8, is breath work. You're like, what the heck is breath work? Where I'm already breathing. Why would I need that? So if you did not listen to my breath work, was it breath of life episode? Oh my god, don't mind me just forgetting my episode names. So I did an episode with Nick. Please go listen to that if you haven't listened to it because it'll give you a whole deeper background on breath work. So he is such a Nick TNT was a huge fucking part of my healing process, and his wife Paulina. And this was a very different, like I used to do breath work before this, and I was like, I've done breath work, schmuck work, whatever. I'm like, it doesn't matter. No, it definitely matters. I promise you, this was the biggest thing that I did. People say that there is no, what is it? My brain's completely freaking spacing out right now. There is no, why am, shortcut, there's the word, Jesus. There, if people say there is no shortcut to healing, and I think that's a lie, because when I did breath work, I quantum freaking leaped my healing process. My healing process, I one visit even, but I've gone multiple times, and this breath work is a 2-part breath. So it's in through the stomach, in through the chest, let it go. It is a 2-part breath, and it is, I don't know the name of it, so I'm not specialized breath work. I would love to do that. But you do that for 45 minutes, and it puts you in just a surrendered state. I was able to, I intentionally went on Mother's Day. And if you can find within your community a breathwork place to go, also Nick has an album out. You can also listen to that. He has breathwork. Also, another option is that they do Zoom. So if you would like to connect with them, is Nick TNT and Paulina TNT, and I'll link them down below as well and on my Instagram. So if you want to connect with them through Zoom, their healing and just their space that they create is just absolutely amazing, and it was meant to be. That I needed that because I just sat there and I went into the intent with the intention of like, okay, I've done the therapy, I've done the things, I'm sitting here, I've done all these other steps, but I feel like there's just this hunch that I can't get over. I feel like there's just like this block, and I still am just like so fucking sad. I'm still fucking, and I'm still sad sometimes about it. Don't you worry. I'm still sad about my mom, that my mom is dead. Don't you worry about that. But I just felt like there was this big hunch that I couldn't get over. And I went in with an open mind, and open mindset. I was like, I'm here to connect with my mom. And I went in and I realized that I was fucking pissed. When my mom was sick, she was so worried about me being mad at her, and I never wanted to be mad at her. And reality was that I was fucking pissed. I was pissed off that I felt so abandoned. I'm like, you abandoned me. You left me. And obviously, she died of breast cancer. It's not her fault. I'm not saying it's her fault. I'm saying I felt fucking abandoned and I had no fucking idea. I was mad. I was like, what the heck? I am so abandoned. I'm alone. You left me here on this planet and you were the one that brought me here? Like, what the heck? And so there's a heart opening meditation through the breath work. There is just a lot that I could just go on and on. We did a whole episode on it, actually. We did a whole freaking episode. This is supposed to be just the steps for you to take, and then there's other episodes here for you to connect with and get a deeper understanding on. But yeah, I highly, highly, highly encourage you to do breath work. It is mind opening, heart opening, and healing. And I do not want you, just the process of losing someone, I know how lonely it can be. And to go to a place with breath work and to go to a place that has other people that are sad and that are hurting, and to have people that understand you, and to have Nick and Paulina, they understand. They're like they've seen it all. To have someone that truly understands and that sees you in this process is important and is healing and is what is needed. The other thing with breath work is that it is just so raw and vulnerable. And I know that's not probably, you're probably like, I don't want to. I feel like that all the time. I still feel like that when I go to breath work. I'm like, I don't want to go. I don't want to deal with my feelings. I don't want to do it. But I go anyways because I know it's good for me. And it creates a space that you can just let just the raw, screaming, crying pain out of your body because you can't hold on to that any longer. The hurt that you feel when you lose someone, it could be a friend, your dad, your mom, anybody, a cousin, whoever. The pain that you feel is mind numbing, mind altering, and dangerous sometimes because I almost lost my life multiple times with the pain of losing my mom. I couldn't handle it. I didn't know what to do. And these were the steps that I took to save my life because I didn't know how to live without her. I didn't even know there was a life possible that I could live without her and be happy. I was like, how the fuck am I supposed to be happy when the love of my life, my mother, the person that created me and brought me into this world is not here anymore? How am I supposed to live without her? How is it even possible? And I'm here to tell you it is possible. It took me a very long time. These steps are not easy. I'm not telling you like just do these steps and you'll be perfect. No, I'm telling you that these are options for you and that these can help you live your life and live happily because I want you to be able to live with the memory of them and to be able to honor them and to be able to honor yourself and honor your feelings and just not live in the pain. It's going to take a while, but I promise you that you will be able to get through this. So I hope these steps helped. I hope this cleared it up for you. And I love you so, 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 so much. But before we go, I created a new section for the podcast. It's been on the last few. But I want to connect with you. This whole point of this podcast is to connect and create pure connection and healing. And so this part of the episode is community chapters. Community chapters is a place for you to email me or DM me on Instagram. You can write in your chapter. It could be just your grief, who you have lost, what feelings you're having. I want this to be an outlet for you that you don't have always. Because I know sometimes there's these heavy, heavy, heavy feelings or even like a win. You got a job promotion. You're like, fuck, I don't have anyone to tell. Like I just want someone to share it with. Share it with me. I want to hear. I want to hear what's going on with you. I want to know. I just want to know. And I want this to be an outlet for you. So you can DM me or email me, like I said, at TheTraumaFlavoredChapters, both at gmail.com or just on Instagram. And if you want your email and your chapter to be, oh my God, to be shared. I'm struggling, guys. I swear I'm going to get through this. If you want it to be shared, just let me know and put your name as well. If you don't want your chapter shared or your name, please put it in the very, very, very top. So we have our community chapters. Community chapters. Let me find it. Where the heck did it go? Right here. Okay. This one is a positive one, and like I said, it doesn't have to be positive. It could be crazy. It could be, or it could just be like, if I don't know if you listened to last week, but last week was about a donut. This girl freaking got hit by a car and she was just trying to get a donut. She was just trying to live her little life. And these current community chapters are off of Reddit. They are anonymous, but I am trying to encourage you to share because I would love for the trauma flavored chapters community to get together and get all cozy and share our little chapters with each other and just have fun. Just having fun out here. Or we can be sad. I want to hear all of it. So, this community's chapter's title is I Sent Flowers to the Wrong Apartment. She showed up at my door 3 days later and changed everything. I'm going to take a little. Okay. Okay. So, on Valentine's Day, I ordered flowers for the girl I'd kind of been seeing. Nothing super serious, but I thought it'd be a nice gesture. I'm struggling. But something small. I was in a rush and typed her address too fast. Didn't even notice I mixed up 2 numbers in her apartment. I hit place order and went on with my day. Got the delivery confirmation a couple hours later, but no text. No thank you, no these flowers are beautiful, nothing. Just silence. Next day, still nothing. By day 3, I figured, alright, cool, I guess. That's kind of over. Kind of sucks, but whatever. Then someone knocked on my door. This woman standing there with my flowers in her hand. I didn't recognize her at first. She goes, "Hey, these showed up at my place. I almost threw them out, but they were too pretty. I figured I'd try to get them to the right person." I was like, "Oh, wow. Yeah, those were for someone who didn't really answer." She smiled and said, "They're lost." And then before leaving, she kind of laughed and said, "You've got good taste, though. If you ever need help picking out flowers again, I'm right down the hall." I stood there like an idiot holding these now very awkward flowers, thinking, did that just happen? Next day, I sent her a new bouquet. I don't know, I said bouquet. And just some simple yellow tulips with a note that said, "Thought you deserved your own." That afternoon, she slid a sticky note under my door and it said, "Did you send those, oh my goodness, people. Do you send flowers to all your neighbors? Or was I just lucky?" We ended up grabbing coffee that weekend. Talked for like 2.5 hours without even realizing it, and then we did it again and again. Now it's almost a year later, we're still together. She still teases me of not knowing how to type an address. I still give her tulips every once in a while, especially when I have no idea what else to do. Funny how one wrong number turned out to be the right one. I just thought that was so sweet. I thought it was so cute and sweet. It's just like you never know how things are going to turn out or like how the universe is going to be like, you really wanted those flowers to go to that one person, but really, this is your person right over here. I just thought that was so sweet. And I read that and I was like, oh, this is perfect. I just want a little pick me up and a little just, I know today was a little heavy with everything. And so I just thought this was a really sweet story to share with you, a sweet chapter. So that was community chapters. And I'm so grateful to whoever this is. This was an anonymous person off of Reddit, and I am just so grateful that they put that out there in the world because that just makes things like so much more possible. Like it's just like a nice reminder of like my person's out there. Like who knows how I'm gonna meet them? Like who knows if it's just I'm sending flowers to this random person that yeah I kind of have feelings for, and then it ends up being sent to the right person. So yeah, those community chapters. But before we leave, if you have been here before, you know what's about to happen. It is Flavor Club, Flavor Club, Flavor Club. If you're like, what the fuck is going on? What is Flavor Club? Flavor Club is another way for us to connect. It is the comment section down below, or you can DM me on Instagram. And it's both at the Trauma Flavored Chapters. And it is putting your feelings into flavor form. Flavor form. I always struggle with that part. I was really proud of myself last week that I didn't struggle with flavor form, but here we are. So it's putting your feelings into flavor form, and it could be any flavor. It could be any flavor, and the whole entire world is just how you're feeling in this moment or even this week, whatever moment you're listening to this to. Drop it down below. And I'm trying to think of my flavor. I feel like I am like a tea flavor, like an herbal tea. I'm drinking like a little herbal tea in here. I feel like I'm an herbal blend. It's so funny. I used to not know how to say herbal. I used to say herbal. Like gerbil tea. But yeah, I think I'm like an herbal, like flowery, like I don't know if you've ever seen those like where you put it like in a teapot and it's like all flowery and but it's like really healthy for you. I don't know. I feel like it's just like the little like immunity boost that you needed, but you also like felt whimsy at the same time. I don't know. That's how I felt. I'm an herbal tea blend. That is my flavor for today, and it's just like fresh and like flowery and like just like sweet and with like a little bit of honey. So that's my flavor. That's my flavor for this week. So let me know what your flavor is. I want to connect with you. So thank you so much for listening to today's episode, and I will see you next week. Okay. Bye.